4 minutes to go.
I thought I would have just went straight to live, didn't it? Or is it gonna?
I think it's counting down. Did you put it in at 7:40? Yeah, it's gonna count down.
Oh, well, okay, that's fine with me.
Oh. Looks like we're live.
We might be.
I think there's a delay. There's like a couple minute delay or something.
Yeah, no, it's live now. I've got it pulled up, like, kind of see it, see what's going on. Is my hat like? Huh. Yeah. Okay. Hello again. We're back. Yeah, just let us know if there's any more issues. I think we fixed everything. I just switched video calling softwares. Discord was being really, really dumb. So we're not going to use it.
I forgot Chrome was actually a thing that existed.
Chrome's been my go-to for like 10 years.
Has it? I use it for certain things, like perusing the Medicom website, and that's like about it. So
you'll have that. So how have you been? It's been 4 months since our last stream.
We're here at the end of all things in 2020.
Yeah.
Luminous is saying my audio is low. I don't know if you're seeing that.
His audio is low? Okay, I think I can just... I think I fixed it.
How do I sound now?
Yeah, I think just the more I raise that, you'll probably be heard.
Okay.
I'll just have to wait till...
We're finally at the end of this godforsaken year.
Yeah?
Yes, it's low on mic. Yeah.
We're getting there.
How about now?
Let's do
a little better. I'll try to do Kaiju by the alphabet. And Gearus. Batra. I've already ran out. Who's a C? Who's a sea monster?
Who is a sea?
Cretaceous King Ghidorah.
So is this giant claw count? I changed another setting for audio. I'm just going to keep clicking around on stuff. If he gets better or lower, guys, just let me know. I'm working on it, don't worry. Can you at least hear him? Like, is he audible? That's better than nothing.
I'm using the mic in my laptop, so that's probably why it might be low too.
Audio output capture. Well, I guess that's not gonna work. I thought it would work like that. We tried, alas. Yeah, you can hear him. Okay, they can at least hear you. You're just lower. I'm working on that.
Thank you, Haley.
Okay. Did you have fun in your house this year?
Oh, I sure did.
Get anything major done?
Not really. I kept it from falling down around my ears, so that's a victory.
I'm proud of you. Yeah.
What about you?
I was able to survive like all the way up until a few weeks ago when I finally like lost my job. So like quarantine and the pandemic and all that crazy shit, like it wasn't too hard to deal with on my end until recently.
Right.
But I'm figuring it out. I don't know. Life's life. You'll find a way.
Yeah. A few people kind of like people know I do conventions. That's how I know you and a lot of the viewers. And people are like, whoa, what did you do with no conventions this year? I was like, I sold shit on the internet. That's what I did.
eBayed it up.
Yeah, eBay's been kind of a monster this year. Like I like really, I've had an eBay store since before the website existed, and like I never took it seriously, even like when I had big sales on it occasionally, like once or twice a year, and just like in May, like people started getting that stimulus money and that unemployment, that pandemic unemployment. They decided to buy toys on eBay, and I watch people like buy shit out of my eBay store and be like, "Is that a wise purchase?"
It's more important than my rent. I mean,
is $1,200 worth of Power Ranger stuff a wise purchase in the year of our Lord 25? Like, hey man, it's your money, you know. But
keeping your lights on.
It's it kept me busy. You know, there were May. Things kind of quieted down in like June when like a lot of the protesting started, and then it picked back up through the summer up to like normal. It usually dies off at like Christmas, you know, because people are like, all right, I gotta stop buying Godzilla dolls. I have to actually buy something for my wife or my mother. And
most people, I mean,
most people. And usually it dies. I usually like Christmas. People, because I'm a toy dealer, people are always surprised. Like when I say like Christmas is actually slow for me, because like a lot of the stuff, a lot of people that buy from me, they're Christmas shopping.
Yeah.
And stuff they might buy from me. So I sell a lot. I have more vintage stuff, but most of my stuff is usually new to market, and their loved ones are not necessarily going to even know who the hell I am, let alone buy from me. They're going to go to like Amazon or Big Bad Toy Store or something. So one of the big dogs. So I can usually kind of count on it to settle down a little bit this time of year, but it did. But I also like there's been all this nonsense with the post office post-election.
Yeah, I heard the post office stuff's been wild, especially from what you've been posting.
Yeah, I was just like, well, I'm not gonna have any packages that get screwed up in this. And then like one guy who bought like a Star Ace Kong was just like, I bought this 2 weeks ago when I went to Florida, and I'm like, yeah,
okay, I'll get it figured out.
Yeah, and like it was like every day, and like a couple like the Ultraman comics got screwed up from this month. Every like there's a sorting facility in Northeast Philadelphia, where like for some reason it seems counterintuitive for the post office to even do it this way, but like anything I'm shipping north of me, like anywhere in the North Jersey, New York City, New York State, New England, goes to this facility that's sort of like east of me. But it's you know, I would think it would make more sense to put it on a truck and send it north, but no, it goes out towards, you know, Philadelphia.
Interesting.
And that was one of the places that the Postmaster General like supremely kind of effed up.
Screwed up the holiday for everybody, pretty much.
Yeah. And I was trying to I sent something to Bob Eggleton back in July, and he didn't get it till like August. You know, like it was screwed up then. So like what they started doing is putting everything on trucks and sending it to like Boca Raton, Florida, for some reason, because they weren't jammed up down there. So I have vendor friends like the Oblique DVD, who like all the Blu-rays he was sending out were going to Florida, and he was just telling his customers, his irate customers, he was just like, I sent it to Disneyland, man. Like I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, Haley bought something off eBay recently, and I don't know. This could be the same thing. This could not be. But she was texting me about it because it sent her stuff to like Kentucky, which it was just super weird to see.
Yeah.
And that could be related.
Yeah, they're sending, and I think this is going to go on into like probably early to mid January. They're sending stuff to hubs that aren't affected as badly. So,
try and disperse it, sort of.
Yeah, because it's just so jammed up. Like I didn't even want to. I talked to my local postmaster with Bob's package back in July, because you know Bob's a friend, and I don't, you know, he was upset about it. He was just like, I think it's lost, and I was like, well, hold on, let me see what I can do. And like the guy just went on a tirade about Postmaster General on the phone. It was a very political conversation. And this is in July. It was a political conversation, and he was just like, "We got to get that asshole out of there. We got to vote Trump out." And I'm just like, "Listen, man, I don't disagree with you, but like I'm worried about your job. Like, you're you know, your supervisor could be recording this. I don't want you to get in trouble. Like, but it's been leveling off a little bit. It's been okay for me. I know you lost your job recently. How are things?
Yeah, they're moving. I mean, I did what pretty much any sane human would do, other than, I mean, I could directly go look for a job, but like most of the work around here that I could get instantly is pretty much the same shit I was doing before, and it's like
Right.
I'm not gonna quit / get like laid off, then go do the same stuff anyways. Like I want to like look around, try something new.
Right.
So I filed for unemployment. I'm gonna see what happens with that. I mean, if it doesn't turn out, I'll just go DoorDash my ass off or whatever, because I still got things to pay for. But other than that, like I didn't really get hit with anything bad. Like my gigantic Mechagodzilla sort of counts, but like I think
Yeah, you never got that, did you?
No, it's still actually yesterday. My friend Sean and I both got a refund of like $26, and I think it's because we switched from EMS to what is it, Surface? I think whatever they had some other option that wasn't DHL because I'm not paying $270 to ship that toy. No.
Is Surface the one where they put it on like a boat?
Yeah, I think that's it. It was Service Parcel, and so I think it's on a boat, and then I think just because it was cheaper, we might have gotten a small refund.
Okay.
That's the only.
Yeah, it's like Parcel Select here.
Yeah.
But that's how I used to send a lot of the X Plus back in the day. Like some people, like I sent one in Nevada once, and the guy was like losing his mind because like a big snowstorm blew out the center of the country. So the post office was just like, listen, the way you sent it, that stuff, like it goes on a truck when there's room.
Yeah,
like great, like I can't take that back to the customer. That's not gonna work.
It's like it's been so long at this point. I mean, yeah, I guess seeing a $26 refund was kind of cool, but fucking like, I don't even. This might sound weird, but I almost like don't care, in a weird way, because like for the first few months you're like, ah, man, I spent that money, but then you make it back, right? Like I made it back. I'm not.
Right.
I'm not even like when it shows up here, it shows up here.
And, right, so the figure's paid for.
Yeah, everything's been paid for. I've just been waiting on it for so long.
Right.
And other than that, I haven't had like any serious issues. Sorry if my ice was super loud. I mean, it's been whatever. I mean, I finally got time to sort of restart the channel, and we were sort of talking about that before we went live, and like I've been having fun with it. It's been going well, and I hope to see everyone grow slightly from it. Yeah. You know, I hope to see vampire robots get some exposure and all that type of stuff. Like, I like being together with everybody in the community, type of deal. Like the Russos, like over on Kaiju Live, that was fun stuff. I just like seeing everybody active. So I will admit, like, the pandemic gave me sort of an excuse to finally make some content, and it's been good. It's been good.
Right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I know. We were talking about that. I noticed like you've been super consistent with it. Not to say you were inconsistent, but you know, life does get in the way.
Yeah, like before, it was more like a side hobby. Like friends like, you know, Lewis, Javante, like they took it a little bit more seriously than I did at first.
Right.
And then it sort of just kind of like when I finally found like this style that like I really enjoy doing is sort of when it kicked off for me. Before I would just make a video just for shits and giggles, you know, whatever came to my mind. But now it's like a little more streamlined in a way.
Right.
A little more professional, which is kind of where I'm trying to push it.
Right.
Get a nice not, I guess you could call it a brand, but I mean that's future.
Right.
Influencer, that's the word. So what's going on? I guess I didn't read the details, but I feel like it's a good thing to bring up with your Dick Neck Godzilla.
Dick Neck.
What happened with him?
All right. Well, I feel like we should explain. I should explain why we call it why I call it.
Did you send those on? I could pull those up real quick, actually.
I think I sent them to you over on the Facebook.
I could probably.
So Diamond, as some may or may not know, Diamond Select Toys has been doing Godzilla gallery statues for their gallery statue line, which is all PVC. They're solid PVC, so they're heavy, but they're also fairly cheap in terms of like a statue you buy in a comic book store. I have a Rodan here. Like, I don't know if anybody's picked this one up. I kept one for myself because it's I think it's the best one they've done.
Yeah, like just as a set, like this is one like eventually, especially like if I run into it like in person, just because like I'm that type of person where if I'm on the fence about a figure and then like I run into it at G Fest, I'm gonna take it home. Like if I'm even slightly thinking about it, I'm gonna buy it.
I live and die in that market.
Yeah, so this is sort of one where like, you know, if G Fest is happening next year or whatever, and I'll probably buy them as a lot, honestly, like because even the promo pictures, as funny as the Godzilla looks, like they look really like the sculpts look fantastic.
I honestly, when my old sales rep showed them off to me at Toy Fair 2019, that's where they had the Godzilla 91 and the Ghidorah 91, and she was super psyched to show these to me, and I was just kind of like,
let's see if I can do something fancy here.
But the response from like the Instagram posts I put up and stuff was like huge. So I was like, well, I guess we're doing these. The Godzilla, which was the first one, the 91. The only convention I got him to this year was ZoloCon. It was the only show I did. That was back in February. And I sold like 6 of them, which is a lot. Like it weighs 7 pounds in the box. And do you hear me okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
For people on YouTube, are these pictures like coming up?
Yeah.
Sort of experimenting with that, so.
There you go. There's Dick Neck Godzilla. Haley's saying I'm a little loud right now, by the way.
Okay, we can just.
But they're doing this in lieu of the Diamond reissues, basically. Like they don't say it like that, but that's kind of obvious what they're doing. Fast forward to San Diego Comic-Con 2019. They had the Rodan prototype and the Godzilla 93.
Yeah, I remember seeing those when you were posting about them originally, because I thought like just the concept was super, super dope. I thought, especially like the Rodan, like I wanted to see it completed. It was sort of what Monster Arts was trying to get to, but never fully did.
Never really did, yeah. So my sales rep, she knew about them, but she wasn't out at San Diego Comic-Con, so I kind of reconvened with her when I got back. Now, I have that. I'm not bragging when I say this, but Diamond considers me one of their Godzilla guys, which is kind of an embarrassing.
Good shot.
It's more like when I go to their like things, their luncheons and stuff on the rare occasion, like, wait, you're that one Godzilla guy, and it's like, oh Jesus, like what? Like, my name is Michael.
You need that on like a gold plaque above your collection, just
on just a chain, and I'll walk in like Favor Flav. But she asked me about the statue. She's like, what did you think of those Godzilla statues? And I was like, well, I really like the Rodan. Like the Rodan is a strong showing. She's like, what do you think about the Godzilla? And I'm like, he's
got a personality.
He's okay. Yeah. I don't like, I actually haven't compared, but I don't remember on the poster, which is what they're taken from. They're taken from the teaser poster. I don't remember him shearing the wing off the Garuda.
Yeah.
But I think that's some creative license there. But I'm like, it's okay. Like, I'll get it. It's going to sell for, at the time, $75. I was like, it's going to sell. And she's just like, do you see anything weird with it? And I'm just like,
not at all.
What? Like, what do you mean? She's like, she had another account who is a bookstore chain, not a Barnes and Nobles, but is a bigger bookstore chain.
Right.
You wouldn't know it to look at like their facades at one of their physical locations, but they are a Christian bookstore.
Huh.
It's Books a Million. They declined to carry this statue, even though they carry a lot of the diamond product, because they said the head and neck were too phallic looking. So after I stopped laughing on the phone with her, I could not see it as a dick neck Godzilla statue. I was like, well, now, now
as soon as I saw your post, like I didn't see it until I read it.
Yeah.
It's just it's odd because like the sculpt's there, everything looks nice, just bulbous, little weird towards the top.
Yeah, like and then there's like the ribbing on the neck and stuff.
And like I also am curious because I think at least from what I saw in the prototype, like the paint on the Rodan wasn't as good as the prototype pictures.
Well, they painted him to actually look like the movie instead of if you look at the poster, he's like he's like one solid color of like an orange, like a burnt umber sort of thing.
Okay.
Whereas like the actual finished prototype, he's actually, it looks like like a Bandai or something would, it's pretty movie accurate. Which is a weird question.
Yeah, my question was gonna be, do you think Godzilla is gonna get that kind of treatment? I suppose.
Do you think he's gonna be different?
Yeah.
I have a different rep now, and I mentioned this to him because he told me it was going to be canceled and resolicited, which has happened. The price has gone up, which makes sense because if you see this thing in person, it's big as hell with the wings outstretched and stuff.
I'm just going to say this out loud. Whatever image I post, I'm ripping from Google. Continue with what you're saying. Just trying to find a poster here real quick.
Gotcha. Luminous is saying your audio is kind of low now. I can hear you okay, but he's saying
I'll mess with some things. Thank you, Luminous. I'll fix that up.
I noticed on the new pictures, the front shot and like the back shot, you can see the joints, like the segments, like where the head and neck, the dick neck joins the body, and also the arms.
Right.
As I understand it, him and King Ghidorah, they had some production problems with these because of the size, and these are like way late at this point. Like the King Ghidorah, I mean, all of like the Godzilla was supposed to be out in September 2019. He didn't actually ship until the beginning of this year. The Ghidorah was supposed to be Thanksgiving 2019. He's now April 2021, and
stuff just keeps getting pushed.
Yeah, Rodan hopscotched the two other. He hopscotched the Godzilla, who just went off the radar. I think he's now May or June. The 64 bust came in last month, which that's really nice. But to your point, I could be crazy, but I swear to God, they shrunk that thing down. Like, it looks smaller to me. Like, it's only about 10 inches high. It doesn't weigh a lot. Like, I'm also comparing it to, like, the only other bust in that line I stocked was the Gypsy Danger, which is just monstrous.
You had that at G-Fest, didn't you? I think I remember stocking that.
Yeah. I still have to do that. It's big. Like, it's only, it almost looks like a, 1-1 to a person.
There we go. That looks a little bit better.
Yeah, they ran it. They also told me at Toy Fair, like DST told me that Playmates was there kind of flexing their muscle about the license with Godzilla versus Kong. And they said, like, I asked, I was like, whoa, what else is coming this year for Godzilla stuff? Now this is February of this year. And they were like, nothing. This is basically it till 2022. But I don't know what they're going to do with Kong. The stupid Kong movie pushed off to God knows when.
Will we get a trailer?
When's that trailer
I
So
I don't even care, but this is gonna sound weird. I am like not expecting a trailer anymore. Like I don't care. Like it's it was something that like when it was first announced
right,
years ago, and I couldn't contain it. But
right,
just as we've gone on, and then King of the Monsters happened, I went from like craving it to wanting to see it to just like I don't give a fuck anymore. Like it's gonna go to HBO or Netflix or whoever wins what lawsuit over
right,
what, and
right,
I'll see it when I see it.
right. Yeah,
I've never seen a movie get. I don't think I've ever seen one like actually get treated worse in terms of marketing. The marketing for Godzilla vs Kong has been, in my opinion, horrible.
well, it's been non-existent. It's been not which.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if you've been paying attention to like the movie business, long enough to realize this. It's always my experience when a movie moves release dates multiple times, a quote unquote big film moves release dates multiple times. We don't see any material for it. Well, I mean, you can't count the toys. Playmates probably had those in a warehouse before anything started really shifting around. They just had to get them out.
And I know you know much more than I would. It just I've heard similar things to kind of like what you're going on about, and
Yeah.
how that just pretty much spells disaster for any movie.
That's
Which
not. I remember the closest thing I can think of was when they did Stephen King's The Dark Tower. They did that as a movie, and it had Matthew McConaughey, Idris Elba, and we saw nothing for that. It never moved. It never really moved off its release date. It had like a late July bow, but you didn't see a trailer until like it was like June or something.
Didn't that one not do so well either? I haven't seen it, but I heard it wasn't.
It bombed. It sucks.
Yeah, I heard a lot of the people that read the book said they really fucking hated it.
Yeah, like I read all the main books. My dad read all the main books, and like I remember asking him, and I was just like, "So what'd you think?" And he was just like, "It was frustrating." And I was like, "Yeah, I'll wait for it to come on cable. I'm good. I'll see it on TV."
You don't want to go to the theater and get frustrated at a movie.
No. That happened. That actually happened to me with King of the Monsters and with Gino. Actually, I remember seeing that in high school and just sitting there like, and that was the first Godzilla movie I saw in a movie theater, and just thinking like, this sucks.
This sucks. Anthony asked if you had a YouTube channel.
I do. I have to throw a link in the chat.
I think you can do one. I don't know. I think if you spam them, it'll start to like kick it. I don't know.
Okay.
Try it. You can try it.
I do have a YouTube channel. Yes.
I'm telling you, we need to get the ball rolling on that.
There's 2 whole videos on there. They're very long. They're from earlier this year, toward before things started getting really crazy on the world stage. But yeah, so that's to bring it back. That's
yes. I was just
the dick neck Godzilla. So yeah, what else are we going to talk about tonight?
Hey, whatever comes to mind. You were talking about your Dark Bolton earlier. Tell me about that. I've barely seen much about it.
Yeah, I was complaining to Joey that this thing's like a absolute nightmare to get on the stand. That's the 3-0 Dark Bolton. I forget the guy's name who designed it. Hopefully no Ultraman guys watch this and
get super offended.
Yeah.
I can.
It's a beautiful figure. I'm afraid to touch it too much because I don't want like the claws to come off and stuff. But like you can, I didn't activate it. I never activate like light up gimmicks or anything. But you can like put a battery.
It's by Ryu Oyama. I think I pronounced that right. If not,
yeah,
I don't care.
He's not gonna find the YouTube channel.
Yeah, he's not gonna.
Yeah. But
does it? I thought it was kind of not a weird release, but I guess you could say strange when you compare it to the other 3-0 Ultramen because they're from two different things.
Yeah, yeah, and I think part of that is Medicom actually still, as far as I know, still has the 1/6 scale license for the like live action stuff because they've done who's the bad guy, the red
They
and
did.
black.
I was just looking at this. That Baltan,
Yeah,
not Baltan. Where you're holding Baltan, Belial.
yeah. Belial, that's right. Thank
You're
you.
holding Baltan.
They did a 7. They've done an Ace. They've done like the Ultra Garrison and stuff.
I was just looking. They did a. It was a Belial, and then they had like the cape and everything that he comes with. And
Yeah,
I have a few of those saved on like websites just because
yeah.
that's a figure that I would like to have one day. Like that looks really fucking cool, and I want to see more of that. Like I wish they would make newer 1/6 scale Ultraman stuff like that, but
Right.
it's pretty quiet. I mean, I didn't even know Medicom still had the license. That's more.
Yeah, as so far as I know, they still have the license.
I suppose that could be why I don't have any 1/6 Ultraman releases, but
they're few and far between. Like I mean, Hot Toys kind of dominates the. They're the one making all the noise in the 1/6 scale stuff. I like 3-0 because first of all, I can stock it. I can actually get it. You can't really get Hot Toys stuff.
yeah.
Even if you have to have like a comic shop basically at this point, and even if you do, you get no love out of them. But hey, that's some people run their businesses the way they want. 3-0 for like what you're paying, like even like they're doing the Power Rangers, they're doing the 6 original Rangers from the very first series, the Zeo Rangers.
Yeah, I saw when those first that big promo banner
Right.
of them all.
Yeah.
I was expecting that to be more of like a it's coming as a set, is it not?
You can get them individually.
Okay,
Like
because I thought they were gonna come individually.
I only ordered. Like it was a weird. I was just like, I don't want to make like 8 listings for the website for this shit. So there's like who wants a Blue Ranger? Who's buying just
Nobody.
one? So I only offered the set. Like I picked up some of the I picked up a couple Green Rangers and the Red Ranger and the Pink Ranger because those are the ones everybody always wants.
Yeah. Do you think
like that out of the set? So
also to segue, do you think this opens the door to more Megazord stuff? Because I've seen a lot of people more interested in that.
Yeah,
than the actual
they
characters.
have the diecast robot line. I got I think it's a Pat Labor, the giant robot series. Yeah. I sent one who's it, Eric Glasgow, who's like another G Fest like tip of the spear guy. He got one a couple months back. I sent him one, and I've seen people kind of saying, "Well, you got to do the Megazord in your robot line." I don't know, man. It'd be cool. Bandai did the Sola Shigoken one a couple years. They did two issues of it. I like just through sheer luck managed to get the reissue for that set that I was selling at G Fest.
Didn't you? I don't know if you sold the set or sold one of them. I thought I saw that you got rid of something like that, right?
The whole set's gone.
The whole set. Okay.
Set, yeah. I put it together and I sold it. It took that sold on eBay back in October, and it was like one of those things. I was on set at the other job.
That make your day.
Yeah, and I got the eBay email, and I'm like, I said to the art director, I was like, I kind of want to just go home for the week. Like I don't want to be here. And he's like, all right, move these props. But yeah, the Megazord, I had it at G Fest. I saved them for G Fest. They didn't move there. I didn't think they would, but I knew it would be something cool to kind of have on the table.
Because I remember seeing like just the boxes for them, and I thought that alone was pretty damn impressive.
Yeah, and it's a lot, especially with G Fest. Like a lot of the stuff I buy, I'll be like, I don't know if I'll make any money on that, but somebody will come over and look at it and then buy like a $10 thing. If I can get 10 people to do that, then I've made $100.
Yeah. It's business. Whatever
Yeah.
sells.
But I have right now. I think the only SOC thing I have is the Die Ruger, which is the vehicle Voltron, which you have to be a hardcore nerd to want a vehicle Voltron. But it's nice. It's real pretty. So
I want to get a lot more of those like die-cast series figures. I mean,
Yeah.
not specifically from that brand, but just in general. Like, I don't know. It's sort of like a. I've been on the fence about die-cast stuff because like I feel like it's more delicate in the sense that like I've got the die-cast Mechagodzilla, the GD whatever number. Someone in the
Right.
chat probably knows. And over the years, it's gotten looser, heavier. It's gotten pretty scuffed up, and I don't want to like. That's why I've been super careful with my Ultraman. Is like, I don't want to get something super premium and die-cast and just absolutely badass, and then have it like wither away to nothing.
right.
That's
Or
what was
even it gets like you get like one scuff on it, and you're just like, well, fuck.
yeah. Like I mean, I got that. I suppose you can call this an entry level. It was that fucking. I don't remember the exact name. You had it on the site. That Darth Vader, that 8-inch.
Oh yeah, the hyper reel.
Yeah, the hyper reel.
Yeah.
That's like I'd say entry level like premium stuff for people.
Right.
And I'm super happy with it. But it's already like that rubber material they used. It's already starting to like just
kind of fray.
Deteriorate, break away. So like ever since I saw that arm, because I went to like put it in a new position, and it was like I saw like the holes in that rubber,
Right.
and I got super upset. And ever since that day, I've been like more picky on what I'm buying now. Like I've noticed I'm looking at the specific materials used, whereas I used to never do that ever.
Right.
But now like I just look like what type of cloth, what type of if they have it, I'm gonna read about it.
Yeah. What's funny is the very last one of those. Chris's dad, George, bought it for
Really?
Chris, whose name escapes me at the moment. That was his Christmas present. He always gets something Star Wars from me last few years.
No, that's dope. That's dope. I haven't seen him since or talked to him since G-Fest. That's
I think Chris is Chris in college now?
Okay, he's in a weird like he's been talking to us recently because he's packing up all of his shit, and he's got a lot of collectibles because they're moving to Florida.
Oh, really?
Because he's going to college down there, and then I think it's just because of COVID and stuff like that. I think they're all taking a trip down there, starting fresh. I think that's all I understand so far. Don't quote me there.
Interesting.
But he's been super busy with that. He's in college currently.
Yeah. That's what I thought.
Yeah, I haven't talked to all of them in a minute, actually.
Yeah. Well,
I wish them well if they hear this. Chris, if you see this, hi.
Yeah. Say hello.
For I noticed we hit like 16, 15 viewers. There's 14 people now. If there's anybody here that's new, hello. We're starting to stream a little bit more here. We're getting things figured out. This is only the second one we've done, and I think it's much better than the first one we tried. So we're really getting the hang of it. Aside from our late start,
the first one from August, or the first one tonight?
Both. So yeah, just hello. I'm trying to pay more attention to the chat. I don't want to like get off on a tangent and forget that it's there. So I'm going back and forth trying to read this, guys.
Lotus Driver 260 asks, what SH Monster Arts figures do you have?
Me?
It's to nobody, and it's just out there. There's not even a question mark, so I'm not sure it's a question.
It's a statement. You better tell him what figures you own.
It's a political.
I mean,
arms.
I think I own about, if you count Ultra Act, which I definitely do. I think I'm at about like the 19 mark, 20.
19, wow.
For as much shit that I talk about that company, I always get them back out and look at it. I'm like, why do I own so many if I hate them? It's so.
That's a lot. That is a lot of. It's a lot of those figures.
Yeah, they start to pile up. Like, I mean, these ones are on my computer, so I can grab at them. this is my most recent, the Burning 2019, which was actually more impressive than I thought it was going to be.
You know, I ordered 3 of those from Diamond, and I still don't have them.
Really?
That happens a lot with the Tamashi shit, though, which also Tamashi count. That's Figure Arts, Monster Arts, Gunpla, the SOC stuff, the diecast stuff. That's all Tamashi Nations, and it just shows up whenever, you know. So
whenever you want to actually sell it.
Yeah, I mean, I went to an outdoor toy show back in October, where I usually kind of luck out and find like weird Godzilla stuff.
Yeah.
And a guy had like 3 of them on the table for like 55 a piece.
That's not bad. I got mine. Mine was on like I wasn't like actively trying to get this figure or anything, believe me. But they did one of those bluefin lightning sales or whatever, and it was like 50. I think mine was $55 before shipping, which is why I ended up buying it in the first place. Because it was just on sale. It was like 40-something% off. Might as well.
I think I have in my own personal collection, I have 5. I have the first 8. Well, now it'll be the first 89 when the regular one comes out.
Yeah.
And
see,
then,
most of mine, if not all, other than the 2 I just showed on camera, then I guess if you want to count like Belial that I got from you.
Right.
From where I've moved out into an apartment, and then I had to move out of an apartment back into my home, and then I moved rooms in my home,
Right.
Everything's still sort of boxed up, / just kind of like thrown in the closet, you know? Like a lot of the stuff that I really like hold on to and look at every day is kind of on display. I've got one shelf above my computer with kind of hodgepodge stuff. But a lot of my NECA and Monster Arts and just like super articulated stuff, they're all in their boxes, all stacked up, waiting to be released someday.
Lovingly stacked up.
Yes.
Yeah, I have the first 89. I have the second Burning Godzilla with the steam accents on it, and then I have the Spitfire 2014. This stuff's all on the other side of the room. I have like a King Joe and a Dan Moriboshi.
The Dan's cool. I keep forgetting that came out.
That is a nice figure. I had to get the Ultra 7 to go with it.
Yeah.
Just because it was pretty badass. But
yeah, I don't know. Like, it's weird. I have a love-hate. Like, I've got the Biolante, but I feel like that one was actually more of a necessity.
Right.
They're reissuing that for those of you that don't know, and I put that on pre-order.
Right.
It's just like when they want to put out a good product, they put out a good product, and when they want to make money, they'll make money. It's just like, I don't know. A lot of mine I end up sort of getting at shows or G-Fests. Like, I got my original Godzilla 2000 in a trade with Godzilla, Andy, for those of you that don't know. And that's how I acquired that. And then I got the special color version on sale at, like, Barnes & Noble. Like, I try to get them when they're decently priced. I'm not going to go out and overpay for a Monster Arts unless I have to, like a Biolante.
Any Monster Arts that we missed out on that we wish it. I had wanted to buy Biolante. I ordered her through Diamond. I put in an order for 4, but my rep is just like, well, they come in cases of 2, so we'll put in 2. And I'm like, okay, need 4 though. Like, make sure that 4, because I know you guys
2 cases
get a lot.
2 to a case.
Well, it's like it's whatever.
That math will get doubled somehow.
Right. No, that'll be one of the times where the math doesn't double in my favor, and I get rat fucked.
Just like that sculpt, like a lot of people complain about the thinness of the neck, but like everything else, because that figure originally came out when I was like hitting my Godzilla puberty. You know what I mean? So that was during a time where I like Monster Arts, like that was like the shit to me. Like I couldn't get enough.
Right.
And that was a grail that escaped me for the longest time. So to be able to pre-order that is great. That was one that I regretted not having. The 89 that you have is one that I still need.
That personally, of all the ones I've kind of handled, like I went up to Rich Iso's place like for a Labor Day weekend like years ago. He had a bunch of them, and
He
so
sold a bunch of his too, I think.
Few, and I still say that one is the best one. It's not scaled with anybody else. Like
my friend Terrence, he's got one, and I've held it, and
yeah.
I think I agree. Like the build on it is very, very, very like high quality. Nothing was super loose. All the joints were very, very nice. The audio was loud. The light ups worked.
Right. Right. I like that it captures like the kind of animatronic head for the close-ups.
No, yeah, I definitely see that.
Shoot, like it's a good combination of both apparatus basically from the movie.
I would say not getting that one, and then the biggest one on my list, because everything else can sort of be like acquired whenever, like even the Shin Godzilla stuff. Like I still see this like regular Shins for like 150, like not horrific prices. Like I could still get one.
Right.
But the biggest regret would have, I think it would go to any of the Ghidorahs. The first one, special color, then the 2019, which Haley has got a 2019, so I'll get to mess with one of those one day. But like, I
got a couple of those cooler jets in the warehouse they were supposed to be for G-Fest this year. So they'll just be for G-Fest whenever. But
G-Fest whenever.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. Bluefin. Were you were at G-Fest 2016? You guys were at that one, right?
Yeah.
So you remember Bluefin was there?
I remember that. For some reason in my head, the reason I remember Bluefin's existence, aside from the abundance of Monster Arts shit, was that San Diego Comic-Con 95 that they had on display.
Right.
I just remember that's all I remember from that booth.
Right. I had one of the special colored Ghidorahs, and I had closed my account at this point because they were such a nightmare to deal with. But they came in with like a pallet of the King Ghidorah. So I was just like, well, I guess I'm just going to sell this for cost and just get my money back, like an idiot. Instead of just taking it home.
Yeah, you should have taken that one home.
Yeah, they were selling them for, I don't know, $125, $130.
Oh my god! Like, why? I wish I could go back in time.
Right.
Hit myself.
Right. And that was that. Like, I think I sold it to like somebody I was friendly with because like I still had it after they ran out at that price. So I was just like, well, I just want to get my money back. Like, I'm asking $150 on it because like I paid a little bit more getting it from Diamond. And if like I had just taken the fucking thing home, like I could have brought it the next year and sold it for like $350.
Yeah, double the amount.
It was such a bitch, but like what are you gonna do?
You can never like
I got a bunch of figures from them directly. Like I had the 2014 Spitfire. I had tons of those. Like I thought that was a great looking figure.
It is. I have it.
Yeah,
it looks great.
I wound up blowing most of them out for like $60 because
it's weird because in a strange way you never know what's gonna be like the hot release that they do, and you don't know which release they're going to immediately repaint.
Right.
And it's like a lot of the ones I've bought, I mean, half of them are more obtainable ones, to be honest with you. Right. They get easier to get. If you want a lot of these figures, I think your best bet is just to pre-order it, especially like if it's a Biollante, a Ghidorah, like if it's a bigger scale release, just play it safe and get it, because that's the stuff that I've noticed that typically triples.
Yeah.
I remember seeing the Mecha Ghidorahs at G-Fest for like less than $250, just sitting there, and I walked past it thinking I'll get it on eBay in a few months, and now it goes for $400 and $500, and I'm not paying that much for that thing.
Yeah.
No.
But I mean, they reissued they're in the process of getting it out now. So I feel like the Mecha King Ghidorah has to come next.
And I've told myself that.
Yeah.
It's like they'll do it eventually.
Right.
Why wouldn't they? It's an
Right.
easy cash grab.
Right. Especially because they're doing an in-scale BioGoji now. They'll try and pass that off as the 91 and say,
Yeah.
"Whoa, we can,"
And they're not even doing it like special color version anymore. Like this Biolante looks normal.
It's called a special color. I think it's a little darker.
It's just a little more green. Like they used to, like at least with the maquette on the Godzilla 2000, like you were getting completely different color spines.
Right.
The Mecha Godzilla, like I know one's chrome and one's matte.
Right.
So at least they were trying before.
Right. And I think you got with the chrome one. I think you got the Garuda.
Yeah, you did get the Garuda with it.
Yeah.
With Biolante, I think the light up still works. I think you're still getting that.
Okay.
Then, other than that, nothing's new, which I'm not complaining necessarily.
Right.
Like I'm still gonna probably act like a kid when I open it.
Right.
But I feel like they could have added anything else. I was expecting some sort of maybe gold glitter or something, just something cheap thrown on it, but they didn't go that far. So.
Some Heisei Maser tanks or something.
Yeah, they could always. I actually really like those little sets they did.
Yeah.
I think those are cool. You don't see a lot of vehicles.
No. You need a movie accurate Godzilla 2000. If you say so. I think Sakai did it that way for a reason, but who knows?
I'm one of the only people that actually like that suit. I think it's just because I grew up with that movie. But it seems most of the older folks I talk to instantly just say maquette's better, hands down.
I have no use for either, to be honest. Like I think the maquette's tremendously ugly, even for like a Godzilla design. Like I see nothing.
It looks super. I just think it's too edgy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Bizarre. It's just like, with the teeth sticking out and stuff.
It's like a shin before shin. It's just too out there.
Yeah. And then I think the actual in execution, I think the suit's just kind of too busy. But this is a great segue because I had told Joey that I had like a surprise reveal for the show today that I was saving.
About to get surprised, guys.
To go live.
Oh my.
I got something from the Getting Place recently.
Hold on to your butts.
So.
Ooh.
Yeah, remember this bad boy?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Is that mint in box or just in box?
Mint in box. I had a warehouse find from Santa Claus this Christmas. So this is the Diamond reissue, which I don't know if you remember, but there was a production problem.
If like those of you subscribed, if you go back and look, it might have been an unboxing, not a review, but I have a video of this figure on my channel. When those first came out, they did, I don't know if it was like a mismeasurement or they just didn't care, but the plastic shell was rubbing against the spine.
Yeah.
And the reason I remember this, aside from having a video on it, was that I actually bought it from Flossie's, and John he cut a little hole in it for me before he shipped it out, because I texted him, I was like, don't ship me that like that. No, you're going to go in and fix it.
Yeah, I wound up doing the same because I got so it drove me nuts because this was like usually on the X Plus back then. If I broke even on the pre-order, that was great, and you just make all the money up on the extras. This one was like one of the first ones. It was so there were so many people that liked that suit, like younger people. I had a ton of orders for it, so I was in the black on this guy. I ended up having to cap the pre-orders because it blew through like my backups and stuff before the damn thing even shipped. It was supposed to ship in like March or April of 2017. It wound up coming super early in the dead of winter, and they had changed what the type of vinyl, as I understand. I've never handled an original from when it came out in Japan.
I didn't know this.
So as I understand it, the spines on the original were softer. A softer grade of vinyl because of how pointy it was. To fix it, because sometimes, for those that don't know, when they were doing the Diamond reissues, they Guy and his guys would kind of go in and tweak stuff here and there. Sometimes we get something totally different, like Baragon with a head option, or the 2014 with the blue fins and a Muto head. Sometimes they just sort of change the paint job.
I miss the diamond days.
Yeah, or this one, they decided to make the spines out of the same material as the body, which means it was a more rigid vinyl, which means when you ship it in the dead of winter, it gets off the boat from China and California and then has to pass on a train to Mississippi in the dead of winter when vinyl can crack in extreme colds. And it's also in a plastic tray that has no give or forgiveness on it. So it wound up snapping a lot of the spine.
I was very fortunate enough to be able to text John in time.
Right.
It was like the day one people getting it, and I immediately was just like, nope, that's not happening to me.
Right.
And funny enough, I have a weird history with that figure. I got it from John, and I had it for a while.
Right.
Then I ended up selling it, and then I bought another one from Bumpus.
Okay.
And I had that one for a while. And his was an original. So I went from the diamond to an original. And then I sold that one in favor of the one I have now, which was David's Rick.
Okay.
The poster variant. So I just kept upgrading as time went on.
Luminous said he couldn't see it.
That's a good figure.
So these are for, it's another, unfortunately, I only got a case of them. Somebody asked, did you get a whole case? Yes, I got a case of 6. It's a warehouse find. They're all sealed. Ooh. That's how they're going to stay for a G-Fest whenever.
Yeah, I figured I was going to ask if that was going to be like a website thing, a G-Fest thing.
I kind of wanted to put some on the website. Unfortunately, like I said, I could only get them. So it'll be something at G-Fest, but what I'm going to do, and nobody obviously has to remember this, but these are going to be sold sealed as is. So if there's any kind of broken dorsals in there,
not even going to check it. You're just going to slap a price and
you
get what you get.
It's you're walking away with it as is. So like I always have super glue with me at conventions. I can try to fix it for you. If you're a Godzilla collector, you should probably have super glue already. I mean, what are you doing?
I'm I'm a weird collector, I guess, because on one hand, broken figures don't bother me in the sense that the Godzilla 2000, if you have super glue, it was such a small break that once glued, it really wasn't that big of a issue.
Right.
And then, but then there's bigger ones like the Ghidorahs, the 68 Ghidorahs when those first coming out, and you had whole necks and heads coming off, and
that's a horse of a different color there. That's
so I just I don't know. I suppose people that kit builders, it's not a problem to them, because I get more worried about seeing that crack in the toy.
Right.
I'd want to be able to paint over that.
Right.
Shake the box to check for a rattle. Yeah.
They're going to very gently go to the warehouse. They're going to be gently stored away until we have another G-Fest. I still have hope that we do it on schedule for 2021, July.
For a little bit, I was thinking it wasn't going to happen, but there's a convention in Canada that I'm going to go to if I can get across the border called Anime North.
Right.
They've gone all official with it. We're definitely having it this year. And I see a bunch of conventions opening under the premise of this is post-COVID, we're going to be 6 feet apart, masks, all that, but we're still going to have the con.
Right.
Which, if that's the case, would you be going to a G-Fest?
We'll see us Steelers can get a G-Fest, but who knows? Yeah. I don't know if you saw today, but they're saying that cases are trending down in Illinois, which is good. They're one of the few states that are. I think JD and the gang are still kind of in a wait and see mode with it. not going to be, if it does happen, and I'm trying to stay optimistic and hoping it will. I feel it's not going to be the convention we know, at least for a year.
Yeah, we're also not even going to be at the plaza.
Right. It's going to be a new building. I don't think we're going to have Japanese guests of any sort next year. I mean, I could be wrong, but I think it's still like overseas travel like that is still going to be touch and go, especially because a lot of these people are rapidly aging. A lot of them are like, not all, but a lot of the type of guests that kind of get a big draw at a G Fest are over 50.
Yeah.
So they're kind of in the prime risk age for infection. So
I'm trying to stay as optimistic as I can. Like 2020, sort of a joke to me. Like I thought it was not funny, but like I'd laughed it off. Like G Fest canceled, COVID, whatever. But
right.
I think it would actually be much more sad to me if we didn't have it again. It'd be like 2 years at that point. That'd start to feel weird.
That's tough. Yeah. I would say also don't be surprised if we do have it, but it pushes into the summer or pushes into August or maybe.
Yeah, I could definitely see like a hotter month.
Yeah.
Later in the year.
A sweatier because it's not sweaty enough in August. So I don't know if you remember it. I think it was 2016. It got like cold during the blood party that year. Like I remember like Bilotti walking around in a hoodie and stuff that night because it was so cold on the patio. Like some weird, like cold front came in off the Great Lakes or something and just kind of froze everything out. But they could bring her, the lead girl from Shin Godzilla. I don't know how up to what travel is going to be by then, because I think when anybody has to come back to Japan right now, they have to quarantine for 2 weeks.
Yeah, the guests was something I wasn't originally like thinking about until you mentioned it.
Right.
So I could definitely see this, G-Fest being a thing, but it's gonna be like not any G-Fest you've ever been to before.
Right. Like it's gonna be weird, and we might.
I wonder if there's gonna be ways to supplement, because like that's like a big draw. I think that's one of the biggest draws of G-Fest is being able to meet some of those people.
Right.
So with COVID and stuff, I wonder if it would even be a good idea to have the con. Like, would it fail, I guess, is what I'm thinking.
I don't know. And
I don't want to see. I miss everyone to death. I miss the atmosphere of convention stuff as much as you want to miss.
Right. I don't think it would. I think somebody once said to me, like a lot of Godzilla collectors, a nuclear bomb could go off and these guys would still be like in a cabin in the woods somewhere with their figures, and it'd be like G-Fest.
Greg sitting there with everybody. They're just huddled around their CCTV. Just, I saved the VHS. Don't worry, guys.
Right. I've got Spectre-Man on VHS.
I've got Spectre-Man on VHS.
So I think, G-Fest is the most concentrated of that type of people. Depending on how large.
I think they're. I mean, they tried to force it last year, or this year, I should say.
Yeah.
So, I get your point.
Yeah.
I'm sort of just. I think we're all in the same boat of just waiting to even see what happens. Honestly.
Wait and see. Yeah.
Any other purchases this year you made that was like super significant, other than Bolton?
So I got this in the other day. I guess we can do this. Sort of a Christmas present to myself. It's not Godzilla related. It's 1,000 toys. And this is I wouldn't call it a grail piece. But I have wanted one for a minute. This is one of the Snake Eyes from 1,000 Toys.
Oh, yeah.
It is G.I. Joe. Hopefully the audience isn't too young to know what G.I. Joe is at this
times Bait, who is the sneaker company from Japan. You should know Bait if you're a cool guy like Joey and I. And
That's even
times Hasbro, times 1,000 toys. So,
that's so wait. Hold on. They made a crossover figure
yes,
with that company. That's
like
that's actually really fucking cool.
1,000 toys, as I understand it, 1,000 toys was basically like, yo, we want to do Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow. I didn't get a Storm Shadow. I could only really justify Snake Eyes. Bait, you got money. You're big. You're a sneakerhead company. You sell sneakers all over the world. Get us the rights to this, and we'll do a collab, basically.
I think that type of stuff always ends up being the coolest shit too. The real
This is how-
obscure collaborations.
That's how his hands come. It's pretty neat.
Oh, they're coming back like a. Okay, it's like sealed kind of.
Sealed individually.
See, I prefer in my
Sealed
packaging
individually.
personally. I mean, this is definitely like a cost thing, I think. But like the way the Ultraman came, where it was all in the foam.
In the foam, yeah.
I think I really prefer that type of like packaging. But I suppose it really doesn't matter.
It's my first unboxing video, Joey.
Wow.
Feel honored?
Every time you step foot on this channel, I'm humbled.
I bet you are.
No, we're doing better. I mean, we've been holding around 15 viewers. I think last time it was around 10, so we're getting there.
All our friends just watched it later. That's all.
Oh, yeah.
He has like a lot of. See, he's supposed to be like a ninja, right?
Yeah.
But like he's got like a lot of accessories. Like
It's a lot of shit.
how does a ninja like Cobra is invading Giant Stadium in New Jersey? Get Snake Eyes. We need our crazy super ninja weirdo who's mute to help. And he's just like, well, hold on, I gotta get my Uzi, and I gotta get my short sword and my long sword.
It's like the only series. G.I. Joe, with a ninja with a Uzi.
Ninja with an right? I mean, what's the ninja? The ninja creed is like whatever works, get the job done. Like they're not samurais,
Yeah.
they're ninjas. So
I mean, that's badass. Ninja with a Uzi.
yeah. I mean, he's fighting guys that are shooting lasers and shit at him. And screaming.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's not fair. Yeah. I mean,
That's pretty cool.
no, yeah, I want more 1/6 stuff in general. I say that as all of my recent purchases have been the complete opposite of 1/6 scale figures.
Right.
Like I've got one of those NECA 1/4 scale Predators on the way.
They're pretty cool. Which one did you get?
It was I won it from one of the Kaiju Live guys
Okay.
auctions, but it was like a decent. I think it was over a month ago. I won the thing.
Okay.
But as you know, there've been a lot of developments, and I don't remember if it's the masked. It's the City Hunter, but I just don't remember if it's the masked or unmasked one because I know they did a few of them.
Those things, like NECA ships them, and you I remember seeing one out in the wild in Toys R Us when Toys R Us existed, being like, what the fuck is that doing here? Like, because they were expensive even for a 1/6 scale figure, and like they immediately would jump up on the aftermarket. Like they'd do like 150 retail, and then they'd suddenly do like 250, 350.
Yeah, like I'm supposed to be saving money, but the main reason I picked this up is because I got it for $100 in the box.
Yeah.
And I remember like before. Do you know what was it called? I think Suncoast Media.
Suncoast Video.
That's it.
Yeah. I remember
We had a
that.
couple like remnants of that store left here before I finally like kicked the bucket, at least around these parts. And I remember they had a ton of those just sitting there, and as a kid I'd go to the mall and pick one up and be like, "This is fucking cool," and put it back. So having the chance to finally get one at a really good price, I kind of had to get that. I might do a video on it. I don't know. I'm still in the stage of trying to grow, and I feel like a Predator video wouldn't be the best, but who knows? Whatever.
It may be the best.
Whatever works.
Right.
Anyone in here want to see a NECA 1/4 scale Predator video, I'll put it out. I don't, if that's what you guys want.
Depending on how large the dealer's room is at the convention, just going off past years, social distancing would not be possible.
Yeah, Ian. See, that's.
I don't know. I don't know. Chris and I, Chris who's in the chat, we went to a toy show in October up in New Jersey, and they did like it was awkward, it was annoying, but they did like do the social distancing to get people in and out of the place. Like they took your temperature with like the forehead gun and stuff, and they told everybody to keep 6 feet apart, and you had to wear masks.
Were people following the rules, I guess I should ask?
Yeah, I mean, we did a few laps in the place, and I noticed people being pretty respectful of it, and just sort of, I've been doing it since the beginning, so I kept my distance from people. I really put a lot of tape on this thing.
Yeah, I mean, I just think it's the individual, because it's not hard. It's just
right
whether or not you really want to do it,
Right. I mean, I think that's part of the reason Illinois got so much of their, they got their numbers down so low is just
everybody there.
They're just super strict about the social distancing and the mitigation stuff. So, but
I mean, I'm just trying to think. Like, 2020's been such a fucking weird year. Like, I don't know. I bought a lot of different stuff actually this year. Monster Arts stuff, X Plus stuff. I dipped my hands into. Would you count that Robot Monster and Giant Claw from Hop Toys? Would you count that as designer vinyl? Is that considered designer, or is that not yet the same thing?
I mean, I would it's vinyl, so those guys would be at probably be at 5 Points selling that stuff for.
Yeah, because they're licensed, which I don't know if that changes shit or not. Pick this up now.
I mean, if they're not licensed, it's a bootleg.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess I started getting into more of that type of stuff, and then the past few weeks I've bought nothing but Godzilla books left and right, just because I want to do a video on fucking Godzilla books. But I don't think I got anything too special. I don't know, G.I. Joe just put out was kind of a fucking flex. I didn't get anything too crazy.
This thing's not like the belt buckle actually buckles and stuff like that's. It's a little too much.
Is that
like he has clips for his Uzi that are flying all over the place?
Stuff you could lose and then never find again.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Okay, great. That's awesome. Why didn't you tell me?
People in the chat they're counting them as designer. I mean, I would count it.
Yeah,
I would. Robot Monster's up there, or else I'd get it, but that's too far. I gotta get up. I can't do that.
Yeah, you mentioned you were getting into designer a couple weeks ago, and I was like, I don't have time to listen to this. I never got to follow up on.
I don't know, because it's a weird market. Because there's some stuff I see that I really, really like, and then there's other stuff that you get into. It gets expensive.
Yes.
It gets really, really expensive.
Yeah.
I think that's why I gravitated, aside from them doing, hell, a giant claw, dude.
Right.
And a robot monster. They were just cheaper. And that's why I started with that, because a lot of the more Asian-oriented designer stuff was just way out of my price range at the moment. Right. I'm sure if I went out and was gung-ho about it, I'd probably come home with a few, but not during these times. These are trying times.
Yeah.
Do you own any
designer stuff? I mean, outside the Marmot shit, I do have. We have to step out of frame.
Yeah, I suppose you could. See, whenever I hear designer vinyl, for some reason, like Marmot and M1, all that, like that goes off. Like I don't mix those.
Right.
When I hear the word designer, I don't think big brand names. Like I just think more indie style projects.
Well, yeah, Marmot does. They do a bunch of designer stuff outside of the Godzilla stuff too.
Yeah.
Like the
Did they
cars
do a Chewbacca?
I don't know if they
I
did
think
it.
that I think there's a Marmot Chew. I thought I saw it on someone's Facebook today. I'll have to look into that.
But the one I have, I mean, this is a designer toy, but it's the GI Joe's a designer toy. This is Sun Guts Kraken.
Wait, that's actually pretty cool.
He did a whole series of these for the first 5 points up in New York City.
That's really cool, actually. I like his eyes.
Yeah, he's rad, right?
Yeah. Sun Guts is cool in general.
Yeah, he didn't have any at the time. He had a Frankenstein over in Japan, but he couldn't bring it because scuffed up Bandai man was there, and he was all disappointed that he couldn't get that. Right here for the duration, but it's a rabbit hole. Like if you start getting into that stuff, like
because it led me. I went from designer vinyl, and then I branched off on another sort of subject of like custom stuff.
right.
Like a lot of the people on like Instagram, they'll paint a lot of these blank marmots, and and then they'll have these lotteries and stuff, and some of that stuff sells for insane amounts of dollars. Like
yeah, I was talking to Candy Bolton about her lottery figures. She did 4 or 5 of them, and it was the SuperGoji. She got like a glowy, like a blank glowy, and I think it was her first Godzilla piece. She's not gonna watch this anyway. But I talked to her a little bit, and she was just like, "Well, I'm going to do them as a lottery, and they're going to be $1,200 a piece. Do you think they'll sell?" And I was like, "I think you'll be fine, dear." And she's like,
yeah, I know which one. I know who you're talking about. I've seen those.
Yeah, she was like, "I'm kind of nervous about it." I was like, "You'll be fine."
Nah, there are plenty of dudes.
Yeah,
willing to fork over that amount of money.
Yeah, I was like, "You're not going to have a problem moving any of these. Like, I'll eat my hat if you can't sell, all 5 or whatever."
Yeah.
But yeah, I've noticed that. I noticed it's what's his? I forget the kid's name, but he's the Violet Vigilante or something like that on Instagram. He's been doing them.
I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, he's been doing a bunch of customs. He bought like a bunch of the black and yellow SuperGojis from Metacom from me at G Fest the last time we had 2019 for like $100 a pop, and like so did like Alex and his dad, who's another customizer guy. He does a ton. He does like his own little.
They live 40 minutes up the road from me.
Oh, do they? Really?
Yeah.
They're great dudes. Yeah, they're
super nice. Super nice people.
They're real quiet and unassuming and everything, and they do solid work.
He does pretty much stuff like this.
Yeah.
There we go.
As a collector, Jake Wynowski, I think, is the guy I was talking about. Thank you, John. As a collector, John was also saying he doesn't like the whole lottery.
Yeah, I read that, and it just I don't mind it as much, but I could like I don't know. There are instances where it can be sort of a bummer because how many people do you know that aren't in a super special Godzilla Facebook group that have the type of money and just like resources to bring home a toy like that? It's like I have a quick question, and this could be like a hot one, and it sort of ties into this. How do I don't want to say Marusan, because I don't know if like they're any different, but there's a lot of lotteries in these figures, and what's the company? They're newer, and they're more stylized looking figures. They did I think they did a Cybot specific 84. I know you know what I'm talking about.
They're doing them through Metacom.
Is it Metacom? Yeah, it's one of the M's.
The company's name. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if this is where you wanted to go with this. I have been bugging the shit out of Diamond to get me those, and Metacom just will not budge. Like I've made like I'll do a sweetheart deal where I'll buy like 50 of them or something. I'll take as many as you can give me, and they're like, we can't even get you like one. It's just like.
What I was originally like about to say was that I was texting my friends recently, and we were like, isn't it strange how all of the same people win these lotteries over and over again? Because I was sort of.
What are you trying to insinuate?
I'm just saying, we were talking about lotteries, and I was like, some people with money bags come in, and it's not even like a lottery. It's just that this person's just gonna outbid you no matter what and take the toy home, and all the fun goes away. And I wanted to tie it with that and ask, how do those lotteries work? Because it seems like the same handfuls of these people are always like, I want another one. It's like,
right. Good for you. Good
yeah.
For you. I don't know. I mean, I did my first waffle raffle recently. I won't say where because I know some people hate these. And I didn't care. It was like it was $8, $8 a draw or whatever. And it was a friend doing it, so I was just I'm happy to I'm happy to give him the $8. I noticed my first G-Fest 2015. Linda had a lottery it was a really nice set. It was the crystal. They were like crystal blue and pink and red or something.
Didn't Christine win those, or did she win the mint that was like labeled as like the Minto something? I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, that too. Linda had it was G2K and Orga, and she did them in like a gift basket with like a bunch of Japanese candy and
the cotton candies.
And I remember I was on the opposite side, the opposite wall where I was the last 2 years, and Linda was like at the corner where I think she is still, and it was interesting that like I'm not trying to insinuate anything, but I know like scuffed up Bandai dealer entered. I did not. I have like a whole kind of honor code where I don't fuck with people's stuff on that because I don't want the perception that I'm just going to turn it around and flip it.
Yeah.
It's one thing like if Entertainment Earth has something, well, fuck those guys. I mean, if I can get their thing and flip it to somebody who couldn't get it, then I will.
You're not going to screw over somebody at the same convention.
I'm not within the family, so to speak.
Yeah.
I will not mess with other people's exclusives or their lottery.
I respect that. I respect that a lot.
So I just kind of watched it with fascination. But like there was a ton of people that were trying to win it, and it was interesting.
Who?
And I like Linda's a friend, and I'm not trying to suggest any kind of impropriety. So if she sees this, don't think that's what I'm saying. But people did say that to me afterwards.
We're just having a friendly discussion based on what we know.
Exactly.
That's all.
How did Christine get one? How did Brian get? How did Rich get one?
Yeah, like Rich, like
I don't know.
In the most nice way possible because these are my friends whom I love.
Yeah,
that's weird.
Yeah, strange things happen.
Because like the Cybot one, I thought was cool. And aside from trying to enter to win the lottery itself, I didn't even know where to start.
Right.
I heard
Kyle at the Kaiju Cast got one.
Yeah, I heard a lot of people saying that the actual like figure, the color was different than the promo pictures.
Really?
I've heard a lot of like I think it was a Cybot. It was I could be wrong on these colors. This is off the top of my head, but I know like the promo pictures were more of like a black, and then in person it was like a super blue, right?
Yeah, I definitely.
I think it was AJ specifically who got one from Kaiju Live, and he was super upset about it, and he didn't want to try again because it's just like, what color am I going to get this time?
Right. Well, I know like Medicom, that happened a lot with like the Medicom. I remember the prototype photo for my exclusive, like the pre-orders I had, like I was panicking because like nobody was really into it was like a matte finish on the black.
Mm-hmm.
And like people were just like not really feeling it. And I was like, well, I'm fucked sideways here because I got 200 of these coming in. They came in right before my first G Fest, and the thing was like an oil slick black. I mean, you saw them. I still had them.
Yeah.
You know, we knew of each other. So people were like, oh, I want that now. And that happened frequently with the Metacom stuff. Like they would get like a painted prototype from Marathon or Marmot or something. By the time we actually got the in-hand product, it looked like it wasn't a completely different toy necessarily.
Different enough to flip heads, pretty much.
It was just like what the hell's going on here?
Yeah. I know a lot of people were sort of in the same boat on the gigantic Mechagodzilla in the sense that, like, they didn't tell anybody it moved. Nobody knew it was going to articulate, and a lot of people passed on that pre-order until they found out the thing started moving, and then everyone freaked out about it, and now we're here.
I remember seeing, I think this was like last week, I think Dell posted it, like he posted like a picture of it with his Shogun Warriors, and then he's just like, yes, this figure's posable. And like, I didn't say anything, but I wanted to say it's a 74. Like Mechagodzilla's posed like that through most of except when he's in action.
No, yeah, I agree.
His arms are at his hips.
That was my biggest draw to pre-order that figure, was the actual resemblance to it being a suit, like a rubber suit, and I thought that was super fucking cool. And I heard some people, as you're saying, complaining that it wasn't like some super badass like Chogokin Mechagodzilla that can do all kinds of crazy shit. And it's like, it's kind of not what they're selling.
Right. It's another gigantic. That's all. It has like of all the gigantics I've handled, it has the smallest footprint. You know, so it's also got that going for. Even with the tail stand, it's one. You know, it could fit anywhere.
Does it need it, or does it stand without it?
I didn't want to take it. Like the one I took out, I got 3, and one was for me. So like I took one out of the box to take pictures of it, and it already had like a couple paint chips I had to fix up. I was like, well, this one's mine now. So I didn't even want to take a chance. Like maybe it's maybe if you put like museum gel on the bottom of the feet or something, you know. But I wasn't gonna fuck around with it. So
well. Is there anything like specific you're wanting to touch on? Where we an hour or something in?
Yeah,
strong.
We're at the runtime of Evil Dead 2 at this point.
The best one of the trilogy. I was sort of, other than what you might have to say afterwards, I think we'll move to, if anybody's got any questions.
Yeah, I'm good for Q&A.
Sure. But before that, anything you want to get off your chest, big man?
I'm good. I hope we have a healthy 2021. I hope,
as do I. No, yeah, I hope.
I hope there's a way for us to. Not that these aren't great, but I hope we don't have to do as many of these going into the next year.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I think I'm less optimistic than I should be on certain subjects, but if I had to be real about it and really look at it, just what we're working with, I think 2020 was, due to it being an election year, I think 2020 was just the year to fuck up. Like, everything that could have been fucked up got fucked up somehow.
Yeah.
I think 2021, no matter what side you're on, what opinion you might have of whatever, I think 2021 will be the slow healing process, which I really do look forward to. returning to some sense of normal life.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, I would like to do a lot more in-person things or convention type things, but as I said in the beginning, like it sort of opened the door for me to finally start doing YouTube a little more seriously, and I think it's been going great, and I've had a really fantastic time doing it. And I'm happy people like you want to come on and talk about toys for over an hour.
Yeah, man. What else am I doing? The week of New Year's.
Very true. I mean, yeah, nothing.
Yeah, exactly. So do we have any questions? Anybody want to ask any questions?
Any question you can come up with, I'll answer it. You got 30 seconds. No filters. We held over 10 people here the whole night, I think.
Yeah.
It was very good.
It might have dipped to 9 once, but only ever so briefly.
I'm pretty actually kind of proud of that.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone, for watching. Those of you still here.
Yep. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah.
I have a YouTube channel for the one person that asked an hour ago. I'll try and throw it in the comments on Joey's video.
Yeah. If he can't throw it in the comments, I'll, like, right after we get off here, I'll just link it in the description.
Yeah.
I wish we were closer or something. I would have volunteered to help boost that. Like, a lot of the stuff we talked about, like product showcasing for things on the shop and things like that, or just like little sort of 1-minute videos, kind of like how I did a video for Kaiju Live, like, hey, I'm going to be live tonight. Like, we could totally do smaller videos, like, I'm going to be at Chiller Theater this weekend. And,
right.
And I think you could build...
I will never be at Chiller Theater ever.
I was just an example, but...
I know.
I think you could get somewhere. I really do.
We'll see. I think I told you the big thing kind of holding me up right now is just it's Diamond. Not that it's Diamond's fault, but just this, like everybody, the supply chain is screwed up. So
it's sort of like your heart.
Yeah. So like the 3-0 Ultra 7, like I finally got a ship date on him in February, and I was just like,
that figure exists.
Thank God they didn't cancel this. So that's got to mean that Ace is not far behind it. All the 3-0 stuff, usually when I get a hard date like that, it usually shows up about 2 weeks early. So keep your fingers crossed. It shows up in like late January. But that's just an example of just like, usually Diamond would say, like, if we have an estimate of like August, we say August 2021. Like the Mecha Godzilla D for real showed up today, the 75 finally. They've got August on it. So I'm just like, I always say September. I always give it like 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah, I've sort of had like the same belief in a sense. Like,
yeah,
when I see a release date, I always think of 30 days before and 30 days after.
Right.
Sort of like as a time frame.
Right. Like a healthy 60 days.
Yeah.
Is good. It's been a little longer though because of just COVID, because the factories kind of stop and start and stuff. So, and that took me a little getting used to. Like, I was like yelling at my rep, being like, "Where are these Ninja Turtle toys? I need them now!" And it's like, dude,
the Ninja Turtle fans are freaking out right now.
Yeah, like we're good. That was like one of the biggest ordeals that I had this year. Was I think you saw some, like, Diamond had all this stuff made like everybody else for San Diego Comic-Con. So
they had that
big pop culture thing of the year.
Yeah.
They somehow convinced, and this is nothing against Diamond, but they somehow convinced Playmates to reissue the 4 Turtles, Splinter, and Shredder, and they put it in like a cardboard turtle.
Yeah, I remember seeing that.
And
it was like the turtle. I'm not even gonna say it before I get it wrong and get yelled at by somebody.
I think it was the soft head versions, which I remember having as a kid, where the heads were like a soft vinyl as opposed to like hard.
Yeah.
Which is like some kind of weird variant or something. I don't do a ton of turtle stuff, so I'm not super well versed in it. I saw them and I was just like, these are cool. And I posted it in like a private customer group I have, and like I immediately got like a dozen messages about it, being like, I want this whenever it's available. So I was like, well, I guess I'm ordering this. So I ordered a shit ton of them, and so did every single solitary diamond account. So they were like way oversold on these things, and I wound up having to give so many people their money back on it. Like, it's like, yeah, like it sucked a lot.
Yeah. Sorry, that does suck. That sucks.
Yeah, but there was just stuff like that this year. Like, I also got like the Godzilla that they did. They did like they did the 91 as like a burning Godzilla variant.
That one actually looked pretty dang good. I've seen a lot of in-hand pictures of it painted.
The color design is great.
It's very vibrant, and that's what I like about it.
Yeah, I said to my rep, I was like, why is he leaping out of? Why is the water just? Why did you paint the water orange? They're like, well, it's supposed to be lava. Like, there's no.
He was
lava.
never in lava.
There's no lava in that Godzilla movie, though. He doesn't really know Godzilla, my current rep, so he's just like, oh.
They could have just made that.
It could have just been water. They could have just kept it.
They could have just made it water and then took some white paint and dry brush the top, and that was your ice for when he was being melted. Holy shit. Yeah. Like, it does not take smart people to think of this stuff.
Yeah. Like, I think James Hartman said he was just like, why is he leaping out of Tang or something like
Tang,
that?
Yeah.
It's like this weird kind of orange swirl he's flying out of. But there was just stuff like that. But even that stuff, it was supposed to, like, they were supposed to have it in July. I didn't actually see any of it until like late August. So it's just weird stuff like that. Like, that's kind of what's keeping me kind of from doing more on YouTube.
Well,
it was also like the last YouTube video I did was like May 31st, and then like June 1st was like when all the riots against police brutality happened. So it was one of those things like,
maybe I shouldn't post my like Godzilla toy video right now.
Yeah, it feels a little trite.
Yeah.
In like world events right now. Me having my buddies on to talk about, all the guys at G-Fest we don't like or something. It feels a little low-minded in the moment.
I mean, hopefully going into the next year, I mean, I hopefully things lighten up and we all learn how to get along, and we all got to figure some shit out.
Yeah.
Pretty much. And I'm looking forward to it. There's a lot of stuff that I didn't know I missed until I really didn't have it. Like, my friends group and myself, we try to at least make one trip a year, which was G-Fest, and then we were able, we grew up and graduated fucking high school. Right. And that was when we went and saw King of the Monsters and stuff together. And it was like right as we started growing up and doing these super fun things, the world ended. So it's like, yeah, pretty much. And so I've sort of been craving adventure, I guess. I want to get back out and do more things with the community and with my friends and just in general.
I mean, I didn't have a hard plan for this, but at the beginning of the year, I was going to try and go to Japan, not like the end of the year, not now.
I know what you mean by that. I was
not
this year, but it's been a pseudo goal of mine. I want to see Japan before I turn 25.
Okay.
I want to go while I'm young. That's just one of my bucket list things.
Right.
So I kind of understand wanting to go in general.
Right.
I didn't mean to cut you off with that.
No. I was just gonna try and go before I hit 40. So that might be my 40th birthday present to myself next year. So
do it. What do you have to lose? Fucking
everything.
Everything.
And Michael was never heard from again. He was last seen in Hokkaido. So, but what do you say, man? You think we're gonna call this a video for tonight or what?
No, I think this is a proper spot to end. Even though we actually gained another viewer. Hello, whoever just joined. Hello, got hit by a wire.
I see Jennifer Pose, my one customer from Rhode Island is here. Good to see her.
Hi, Jennifer.
So,
If you guys like this stuff, like I want to stream a lot more, especially now that I've got the channel really up and running officially. Like it's in a weird thing with me because the first time I really streamed with Michael that like wasn't on Instagram Live or something stupid was sort of the first video from me to where I wanted to try a lot of this new stuff.
right.
A lot of the streaming, a lot of the list type stuff, just the different format. So it's cool to me to see like where that stream started versus where we're at now. And that sort of helps me in the future. So I'll stream like this way more often. Like if people, it seems people are much more interested in this type of stuff anyways, just listening to people talk, which I get.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you want to come back on or anybody else, I'll do this every weekend. I don't care. If you guys like this, I mean, subscribe, like, please. The channel's growing slowly but surely, and I promise you that good things are coming. I'm trying to do it.
I wouldn't, for those that don't know Joey, like Jennifer, like, I wouldn't let Joey put my ugly mug on here if I didn't trust the product he was putting out.
Thank you.
So there you
go. I'm trying a lot of new stuff. My main objective with my channel currently, I just like to talk about stuff that doesn't get talked about as often.
Right.
Like I've been making a new series called Pop Culture Showcase, and my whole goal with that video series is to just record things or talk about things like, you know, I did one on Guyver, Robot Monster. I want to do things that, you know, not a lot of people maybe know about, but sort of is like tied in with kaiju stuff. I mean, once I look back at my little pile, I mean, I've got 5 books coming currently, and then more on the way. I want to do a lot more comprehensive style breakdown videos, you know, talking about Godzilla books, because there's an absurd amount of kaiju books and Godzilla books and just all sorts of material that most people would never even have seen before.
Right.
And that's stuff that really piques my interest, and that's sort of the stuff I hope to eventually bring to the channel.
There you go.
So, yeah, we almost made it right about 2 hours. I mean, hour 45, hour 42. Thank you for coming on.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. Yeah. Thanks for having me on, Joey, again.
Good night, everybody, and I hope everyone has a happy new year. Here's to a very optimistic 2021 and more streams to come.
There you go. Stay safe.
Stay safe.